You
Yeah,
know, you
100%.
get what I mean? I think that's much better. Again, he goes in 2027, or is it 2026 actually? It might be 2026. He goes in 2026. If by then he can build a base and a decent foundation for whoever the next manager is, let's say he doesn't sign a
Yeah.
contract extension, then I'd prefer that, because you Klopp's good at that type of stuff. And then if you want to go and get a manager who you believe can then take that success further, sound, because you can't keep Klopp no more. But in comparison to the Graham Potter thing, I think that's what Chelsea are looking at. Whether it proves to be right or wrong, you could be proven to be right. I think Graham Potter is that long-term solution. He is that fresh start. He is that face that they need. And they look at him as the long-term plan opposed to the short-term success,
I think
which
he
is
has
what
to
they've
be.
been
Because I think
associated with.
short term, a lot of the players that are currently at Chelsea are not going to buy into what he's doing because he just doesn't have the pedigree. And it's not because I don't think he's a good coach, but I understand that the modern day footballer, like, you have to show them that you're deserving of their respect. They don't just give it to you. Do you know what I mean? And
Footballers don't care about context, do they? They just care
not
about
at all.
what credentials do you bring and what can
That's
you
it.
benefit me in
But that's
terms of
it.
trophies.
That's all they care about, bro. And the thing is, as soon as things start going wrong for Graham Potter, there'll be some players that he'll lose, and there'll be some players that he never had in the first place. Do you know what I'm saying? And this is the thing with Chelsea. This is a long-term thing for Chelsea. Short-term, he was never going to come in and turn them into some superpower. It was never going to be that. He's going to need to bring his own players, implement his own philosophies. But the players have to give him that time. It's not up to the board, really, because if all the players say, you know what, nah, he's not the guy. This Todd Bowley looks so, like, impulsive. He'll pull the trigger again. Like, he will. Like, I genuinely believe that he doesn't have the patience. The guy's been in the country for 5 minutes and he's already talking about all-star games and stuff like that. He wants to affect the league and affect the club as quickly as possible. This doesn't look like a patient man. So if things don't
Yeah.
happen very quickly at Chelsea, I don't see him saying, you know what, we're going to do what Arsenal are doing and we're going to give Arteta 4 or 5 years. Potter's not getting 5 years. He's not getting it. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, Potter's not an ex-Chelsea player like Arteta's an ex-Arsenal player. There's so many different reasons why he's not going to get that time. So the fact that Klopp's already been at Liverpool long enough that they look at him and you could say, you know what, he's a Liverpool man, innit? He's been at Liverpool for long enough. Like, if you're going to give anyone the rebuild, you give it to him if you've got sense.
Yeah. I think they will. I think they can. I think they know deep down the wonders that they've done. Like, I think they're shocked at the success that he's brought. I do. I don't think they sit there and go, job well done, boys. We've done everything we've needed to do an investment. It's been very, very successful, and it's all down to. I think deep down they know. It's just like it's like anyone who was born with rich parents. It's like, oh no, I deserved it. You had rich parents, you know what I mean? And it's fine that you have rich parents. You know, maximise the opportunities that they present to you. But that's where it all stemmed from. Same in this case. It's like, don't know that your ventures and your main successes at this, you know, in FSG's time at Liverpool has came because of Jurgen. It has, because I don't think anyone in the time that we won the league or the Champions League thought we were going to do those things. And then think about it since. Everyone said that we're not going to get back there, and we haven't, because of the investment. People have seen it coming, and even if they've saw it a little bit short and kind of sort of underrated us to an aspect, he was still right about us not getting to the league title, which so it definitely is now even further away than what it was last season. So it's a proper unpredictable time, and we definitely have downgraded massively. I'm just at a point where I don't really care about if people think I'm negative or not, because I'm not here to be negative. I'm just simply here to say my opinion on the whole matter. And my opinion on the thing is that it's clear everything that we've been worried about, whether it was last season, the season before, but it just didn't hit us yet. It caught up to us eventually. It's like if you eat enough McDonald's, you know what I mean? It's going to catch up to your belly, and you're going to end up being a fat bastard. You know what I'm saying? It's like, but if you go to the gym for a few weeks and, you know, you have the odd little Mackies here and there, you can get away with that. It's just too much bad investment is not good, lads. And how we fix that, that's up to the board on how they want to solve it. I can tell you what I would do. I'm not them.
That's it. That's it, 100%. So, I don't know. It's looking a bit weird. I think what is extremely worrying to me is the response from a lot of these players. It just looks like, I wouldn't say that they're not trying. I just feel like they look like they don't have any confidence in
I'd go even further to say that they're not trying. Honestly, I'd say some of them, for being your mate. Do you know what I don't appreciate is when you're authoritative. Like, I don't know what you're like with your players, and I'm not saying they're like, you know, that sort of authoritative approach is always the best thing to have. But everyone knows in any line of in managerial jobs, there's still that line of authority. And when Fabinho looks at Klopp on the touchline and questions him when he's shouting at him, when you're evidently doing things wrong, you're making wrong decisions, you're making the wrong pass. You know, just when someone's being careless and they're not focused on the game, I think it's fucking. It nearly makes me sick, lad, when a player does that to Jurgen, because I know what Jurgen will be saying to you is what he believes is the best advice for the team. And if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. But when you're looking at the manager saying, what do you want me to do? It's like you can do a lot more because all of us fans are clocking all the mistakes that you're making. So it's a proper strange situation to be in. I do think there's a little bit of a disconnect between the manager and some of the players as well, to be honest. Whether that gets re-amended is what remains to be seen. But I think it's a lot worse than what's on the surface as well. I do. I think it's a lot worse.
For sure. But that's why being part of being a good manager as well, especially to have longevity, you need to know when to freshen up and who to let go of and when to let go of them. And I saw this Fabinho decline a little while ago. I said it. I was like, this guy's cooked now. I don't know what's happened. I don't really know what happened with him, but he just looked like his head was gone and his legs were gone. I didn't know what was going on, bruv. Like, and it's one of them things where this is why you replace the guy. And obviously, maybe Klopp did know, and that's why I probably wanted Tchouaméni, yeah. However, he didn't get Tchouaméni. And instead of getting someone else, another profile, you end up with Darwin Núñez, bruv. And then Arta, bro. Like, it's not making sense. And that's why obviously it's clear that it's someone upstairs, because I can't believe for 1 second that
it's
Klopp
clear.
Said, you know what, we didn't get Tchouaméni, so yeah, just find me someone on the free market.
Come
like,
on.
I doubt he said that.
Come on, like, let's be real now. How is a manager who's coming out and playing 37-year-old James Milner, subbing him on for a more attacking fullback and Trent Alexander-Arnold in the 60th minute, by the way? Why is him doing that not saying in itself, I need players? How is that not the case? Please tell me. Because I feel like anyone with common sense could recognise that that's the case with Jurgen at the moment, is that he just hasn't got the options. I don't know how else to say it. Like, it might be the cause of why we're shit, but there's always a cause of why teams are shit. Yous are shit because your owners were shit. We're shit because I believe our owners are shit. You know what I mean? There's very little, but you know when you're appoint a good manager, good investment, good things start to happen. We stop chatting shit, as some people like to say, when eventually you do the thing we've been saying the whole time and it works. It's just like, put 2 and 2 together. I'm not trying to say we're the Messiah, because again, we don't know the intricacies of the footballing world. We know a lot about it, but of course we're not millions and billions of businessmen. You know what I mean? That's why I think, of course, it's harder than what it looks. But some of the stuff they're doing, it's bad, lads, and it's going to get worse before it gets better. That's my solid prediction for Liverpool.
100%. And people saying about the Edwards situation. What happened? Did Edwards leave, or was he? Like, was he removed? What actually happened with him?
He wants to go into different footballing ventures. He says he doesn't want to be a board director no more. He was a sporting director for us. He doesn't want to be that for someone else. Well, that's what he said when he left Liverpool. Of course, if a big offer came from Manchester United or Chelsea, who is being linked with them, maybe that could sway him. But yeah, he said he wants to look into like different projects and stuff like that. But if he does go to United, honestly, I don't care. And it's not because I think he's shit. It's just because I think he might be slightly overhyped. Because right now, our current sporting director is is his understudy. So the whole time Michael Edwards has been there, he's been working with this other fella who we've got now. His name evades me. But that's who's replaced Michael Edwards. So it's the same system. It's the same style, model. And if you analyse the signings that we've made in the time since Michael Edwards left, it's Luis Diaz, Darwin Núñez. But Darwin Núñez came so soon after Edwards left. Edwards would have been a part of that deal anyway. Does that make sense? So there's good eggs and there's bad eggs in the Edwards list. And people look at that very short period where we won the league and we had that one transfer window where we signed Fabinho and multiple other players, Alisson, Van Dijk, all within a short space of time. And, he's brilliant. No, you got 145 million, a fucking one-in-a-lifetime deal for Felipe Coutinho. You were able to go ahead and reinvest that into some absolute gems, granted, but not all of them were gems. Keita wearing a gem, Oxlade wearing a gem. Furthermore, you're even fast forward. Carrier certainly wearing a gem. He cost you the trophy. So there's plenty. Dominic Solanke, Christian Benteke. These are all signings underneath a Michael Edwards reign. Ricky Lambert, Fabio Borini, and on top of that as well, like Andy Carroll. I'm not being funny or not. I'm right. Michael Edwards has made a lot of bad eggs in his time. So I just wouldn't think if we get Michael Edwards, if we're United and we get him, we're boss, and he's the right decision. But he's not bad.
I think you're more likely to go Chelsea because Chelsea want him bad, innit?
Yeah, and he is good. He is, but we don't know what he does with. We've known what he does with significant investment in one window.
Yeah.
So when you give him 100 million, what does he? Well, actually, that's kind of like because when we sold Suarez, different market, different value for money, but we got like 75 mil for Suarez at that time. That was still a lot of money, and then we bought Lazar Markovic and Alberto Moreno.
Yeah.
So you don't know, do you? Yeah, it's about making the right decision, recognising what's going to suit your team, and he's had good examples of that and bad examples. So I wouldn't be too overexcited because people seem to think he was there just while Klopp was here. Not the case. He's been there since he's been at Liverpool since 2010 or 11.